All right, all right. We are here. We are here. Just wasn't planning on streaming, but got to bed early. Woke up, so figured why not. Kind of looking for a short here. So if we inverse this, we will take the short on the Topstep account here. We'll see here. That's the idea. That's the idea. Moving some stuff around here. All right. So just watching, if we inverse this to the downside, we ran the Asia high there already, as you guys can see, to the left there. So I anticipate us going back to the Asia low there. So we'll see what happens here. If it's close below, we'll go ahead and take the short. We'll try to take the retrace if we can there. Try not to just jump in. All right. Let's just see. I don't have the trying to get my stuff pulled up here. Let me look at the ES here. Get the ES marked out. The ES. All right, so the ES is yet to run the high there. So we may have a bearish SMT here with the ES. Let me move this chart. This chart keeps getting in the way. So 3 a.m. coming up here in a few minutes. Yeah, it's 6-7 minutes here. And just kind of see what happens once that happens. So we'll see what happens here. So a close below, we take the short. All right. I don't know if this my dog did something crazy last night. I got home and I was like, what is going on here? He had something tore up in the floor. I had no idea. I had to move my setup from one room to the other. He's never done this before. Apparently, he got into my chair here and he chewed the little soft piece off my mic. I had no idea what it was. And now when I just sat down, and I saw it in the floor, and I was like, I thought he must have tore one of his stuffed animals up. It turns out it was the soft piece on my mic there. He's not really a dog that chews or tears anything up. So it's a little strange, but what's up, Sammy? Good morning. So yeah, I don't know why he did that, but don't know why he did that. Expecting to move down here. That is my expectation. It's worse to move down, so we will take it if we do get it. This is the account that we hit the daily loss limit on the other day during the stream, so I mean, I guess technically the ES could push higher here. Could. It doesn't have to. So we'll kind of see what happens at open. I will watch this gap here because if we deliver from this and then we inverse that, maybe we're going to continue higher, but so I'm not sure. But my lean is we go down, at least short term. Short term, the lean is we go down. Like I said, it could still push up more. Could still push up more. So I don't know. Some so it's kind of the one we're watching right now. Like I'm expecting it to inverse this one to the bottom. So probably want to see this one hold, but we'll see. So we'll see what happens. All right. Pushing up here, pushing up here. I'd like to see it hold and inverse this, and we'll take the short. That's kind of the idea. We do have the same similar setup there on the 2 minute, 3 minute as well. I like the look of the 1 minute, so I'll probably take it on that one. If it's a loss, I am okay with that. I am okay with that. Is acceptable for me. Acceptable risk there. So got about a minute and a half here until open, or actually a minute. See if we close below there. See if it can close below, and we will go. On a close below, we take the short. Ugh. Let's just see what happens. What do we get? What do we get? VWAP down there at the 564 area. All right, here we go. 6 seconds here. So there we go. 3 o'clock. Let's see what we get. So I'm just watching, kind of wicking here. Kind of wicking up and wicking down, wicking up and wicking down. 20 seconds left on this candle. So we'll take 2 minis if we do get a close below, or if we get some momentum here, I may jump in sooner. So we'll kind of see. ES is pulling back here. It's approaching the VWAP. Testing the bottom there. So I'm probably going to just go ahead and jump in here. I know that's aggressive, but I'm expecting it to close below there. We're going to sell one here and target down here. And I'll go break even once we kind of get down in this area. So close below there. So I'd like it to hit 55 there, get through the VWAP there. And then we will, I want it to get right through the VWAP. Let's see if we can get put through that VWAP. I would normally take profit at the VWAP, but would normally take TP here on 1 at least to lock in some profits there, but I'm trying to be a little more, trying to hold it a little more if I can. So we'll see here. So we'll just wait and see what happens here. See if we can push through the VWAP here. Kind of targeting that first swing there on that first take profit. All right, let's see. We're through the VWAP now. Kind of want to move the stop down. Well, let's just see here. Let's get a push through there. Would like to hit that swing there and take that first target. Normally just target $250 during London, but I would like for it to just push right down into that 55 area. See if we can't get through the 55s here. Holding up there at the VWAP so far. Again, just trying to be patient. Good morning, DJ. Good morning. So I want this thing to get through that VWAP there strong. Holding up at the VWAP so far. ES is kind of retesting the VWAP here. And I like this setup here, so if it fails, that's okay. The only sad thing will be is we were up like $400 and we didn't take it, so it's the only sad thing. I'm actually going to add one here, and I'm going to buy it back at that swing there. So we're going to take one off there at the 62s just to kind of lock in some profit there, and then we'll go from there. Targeting the lows, targeting the Asia lows on that third contract if you're wondering where that's at. So being really aggressive here, guys. These are just combines. It's a $4.50 Topstep X combines, so we will be much, much more aggressive with these than we normally would be. So see if this thing can push through here and at least tag us out there. And now we will break even stop if it hits our first target here because we created a swing. So we would expect it to expand once it gets back below the swing if it's able to. So we will break even stop the last two if we can hit the first target here. So we'll see what happens. Close back above there. We'll take it off. So let's want to see it just push right through here. Take out my first target and then go from there. So let's kind of see what happens. Oscan, what's going on? Good morning. He's over here in his bed. He ate my soft cover on my mic yesterday. He ate the soft cover on the mic, that dirty dog. That's so funny because I didn't know what he ate. And then I think he realized that I didn't know. And now I think he knows I know. He's like, I'll just chill over here. So see if we can sweep the 62s here. Once we get below this swing, if we are correct, we should get some expansion to the downside. So we will break even stop once that hits, if it hits. So I want to break even stop it here. Go ahead and hit it. So I'm going to break even stop it now. It should hit it though. Come on. I mean, really? Really? You guys see that? If it doesn't push right through there right now, I will move the stop back up. All right, there we go. So now we should get some expansion. Yeah, Max, give us a signal. He said, "Woof, go to sleep." Go to sleep. So now we want to see some expansion through our second target there. That would be nice. Locking in $190 there. We want to see this thing push right on down. Don't want it to revisit the gap here at all. Come on. Do not be a dirty girl here. Let's continue down here. I don't want it to be a dirty girl. I want it to at least hit this swing. And then I don't really care what happens beyond that because I would have already hit my target. I got one listed to sell down here at the Asia lows. So come on. I'm going to front run this one by a couple of ticks here. I'm just going to take that one off. There we go. So, all right, filled on that one. Locking in $500. We would lock in $1,150 if we hit the Asia low here. So, let's see what happens. So, locking in $500 there. We did hit the daily loss limit on this account yesterday. So, it would be nice to kind of get that back. That would be ideal. We'll go ahead and move my stop to just above this order block here. It's just locking in $100 there. So let's see what happens. I am front running the Asia low by a couple of points, because I don't want it to come down and barely not take it and then go back up. This is why I love the London session. If you guys aren't trading the London session, like, you're missing out. A lot of people don't like it, but it's such an easy read most mornings. Most mornings is such an easy read, right? Let's see what happens here. I would like for it to just continue on down, obviously, and hit our target. And I do believe I'm copying across the other evals here. So I have 5 of them. So I'm pretty sure that I'm copying across all 5, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, of course, this is my first time using this copier, so I'm not 100% sure that it's working, but I'm going to watch the reaction to this swing here. I would like to see us to just expand below that. Any type of strong reaction back up, I may just flatten it. But you'd like it to see it just, well, we do have that swing down there as well, 45. So you don't want to see this. You want to see this gap here hold. I want to see that gap right there hold, ideally. If you guys haven't already, hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you're not yet subscribed. We do appreciate it. So I think my stop is in a safe spot. So back below this swing, I expect expansion into these lows. Anybody else take that short there? I really want to lock in more profits here. I want to move my stop down to that swing, but that's not a protected swing here, so the stop is safe where it is. I would like some expansion below this low, though. Everything looking okay here. Let's see, the 15 minutes. We still have room on the 15 minute actually, down to like 529. Looking like. $538.75 is the next swing there. If the ES hits the Asia low first, then I may take this off. So I'm watching the ES here. So we'll see here what happens. So either way, if it hits our stop, we're up $600. If it hits our target, we're up $1150. So would like to be up $1150, obviously. Might take it a moment to kind of get down there. So let's just see what happens. Nothing to do here. I mean, we got our stop in place. Just be patient. If you guys have watched me before, you know patience is not a one of the things that I possess. But it's not one of my strong suits there. Let's just see if this thing can continue down. Yes, kind of bouncing right there at the 82 area. So like I said, we really want to see this gap right here hold. Close above this would be troublesome. That would be our indication that we should probably just TP, take profit. We really want to see some expansion back below here. Get back below this area. We want to kind of just expand down here. There we go. We want to run right to the target here. You don't want to have any hold up. So there's that swing there. Creating a double bottom there. We should just go here. Should just go. Let's see if we can get a push through there. See, I kind of want to see that thing run right through there. I don't want to see a bullish reaction here. I want it to just run through there. So we did take out this swing here. This is the last line of defense before we hit the 38s. So I'd like to see it run right through that 38 area. Like I said, there's still room even below 38 there, in my opinion. Still room below the 38s. We're front running it by a couple of points. And I'm going to go ahead and move my stop down to just kind of here. I want us to expand below there. Should go now if it's going to go. I'm going to trail this down now. So we don't want to give anything back. We want to just go ahead and lock her down. So it should go right now on this candle. Back below that wick, I want to see it take out the 39s. Like right now. And I'm going to aggressively trail now. Should just push right into the 38s now. That's my anticipation. And there it is, guys. Boom. Easy read. Easy read. Could go all the way down to the 29s, 28 area if it wants to, if it wants it. Look at that, guys. $1,000. Nice and easy. $1,000. We'll take it. Let's see if it copied. All right, so it did copy. Got 5 combines here. It copied across every one of them. $1,000 times 5. So making $5 grand right there on these combines. So easy read there. Easy read there. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Tony. I mean, that does not get much easier than that. Hopefully you guys participated in that. She could go lower here. She could go lower. Like I said, you got this area here. That's kind of that next down. This area here, all the way down to here. The Asia low, excuse me, to me is just an easy target though, so. Easy target. Yep, 5K across 5 combines, DJ. Nice. I'll take it all day. I do like how the copy trader just copied and like it didn't, you know, I didn't have to do anything other than I just selected them and it didn't have to, you didn't show me anything funky on the P&L where it like 5X's it or anything like that. So. I just realized you guys probably. Let me get this thing situated. So you can see here, these 5 combines, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we are up on each one of them. You can see there. And we hit the daily loss limit on all those yesterday. I don't know that I mentioned that. I was copy trading those. So back to even basically on those. So almost made it to that 30 target. Yeah, I like it so far, DJ. I don't mind it. Like I said, I already have 5, or what do I got? I think I have 2 express funded accounts already. So I don't even know how many of these I actually can pass. Yeah, just 1 actually. I did pass this one yesterday. We passed that Bewley yesterday. We have this Bewley that's also passed. So it'll be 2 more accounts that we'll be adding to the collection there. We are pretty close to passing this one, $312. And then we are pretty close to passing this one as well, about $536. And then Take Profit Trader, we're just kind of grinding along. My Funded Future, same thing, just kind of grinding along. So it's kind of where we're at on those. In low 1 in the house. Morning in low 1. Inlow, we just banged out like a 5K trade. Where you at? 1K across 5 combines. Now hitting that second target. Again, I could have probably held those targets a little longer, but, you know, I like to take the low-hanging fruit. Kind of the obvious things there. Next down, 505. We actually have relatively equal lows at 505, and we're inside a fair value gap. So that's a pretty good liquidity pool. So ES just hit the 81s there. It's still going. Still got a little room here to go for the or actually did it? No, actually it ran. So it did run the Asias too. It might want to trade back to the 75s here. Yeah, I might want to trade back to the 75s. It's kind of the next swing. I think that we're probably safe to go to the 505. So anyways, just kind of pushing back down here, continuing here. So anyways, guys, anybody else jump in on that short? Pretty easy read right there. One and done. That's how you like to do it right there. Hey, Kid Nash in the house. Thank you for your subscription. I appreciate that. Welcome to the Methodical Crew, Kid Nash. You the man. I see you over there at in Tom's stream. I'm assuming most of you know who Tom Sabo is. He streams every London session. Yeah, we appreciate it, Tom. Thank you, Kid Nash. Yeah. That's right. Gotta go, David. Gotta go. Yeah, so since Kid just got here, Kid Nash, this is what we did, Kid Nash. This is what we were telling Tom. So you see we had the Asia highs marked out over here. So basically, you know, I waited for the sweep of the highs. And here's the thing, like a lot of people worry about the gaps below. I don't worry about that, right? I take the first inversion gap. We held up here on the 1 minute. Let's get back to the 1 minute. So we kind of had a bearish gap there. We held that gap. And then we inverted the bullish gap. That gives me extra confirmation. So I took 2 minis right here for the break. And then on the retrace, I added a third. Then I took my first take profit right here at the swing that we created. And then we took the second one here. And then we took the third one at there. So nice, easy read this morning. That's why I love the London session. Like, you know, it's hard to wake up for sometimes, but this morning I was already wide awake. So I was like, I got to get up, and I'm sick to my stomach when I wake up and I see this stuff work. Like there was a nice easy run and I didn't participate in it when I get up for the New York. So Ariana, good morning. You're new here and love your transparency. Is there anywhere you can learn the IFVG strategy? Sure, Ariana. all you got to do is just, well, I didn't make a video on it yet, Ariana, so I can't really refer you to my channel. But what I can do is show you where I learned it from. So Dodges DD, and then you just type in IFVG. If I spelled it right, I may not even spelled it right. So anyways, here's a couple of videos that you can watch. Dodges DD, IFVG. He's a younger guy, but he has a couple of good videos on it. It's the it's an ICT strategy, and it fits my personality. Why does it fit my personality? I'm a person who likes to move the stop quickly, and that's exactly what the strategy does. As soon as you have an inversion and you hit internal liquidity, you move your stop to break even. And I love it. I love that. So it just fits my personality perfectly, and so that's why I like it so much. Well, it's not that you got big balls, Kid Nash. That's just one of those trades where, like, as soon as we push down here, the only danger is we got the VWAP, right? So we bounce off the VWAP and we hold. So as soon as we hold here and we get back below this swing, all your risk is gone, because at that point I break even stop right there, because that was my entry. I just put my break even stop there and we just wait. Once we get to this swing, I took my second mini off, and then it's either target or bust. So risk is off at that point. It's a nice thing about trading an end-of-day drawdown account like Topstep. You don't have to worry about being up $500 in profit and then, getting stopped out for a $200 loss or something like that. So this I trade. This is my London strategy every single day, guys. If I traded London every day, it's the same strategy. Mark out 7 p.m. to midnight, high and low. ES and Nasdaq, 7 p.m. to midnight, high and low. That's all I do. So here's your low. So that's how I get my targets. Let's horizontal array. There we go. I would like it to be just, oh, there it is. So I just mark out 7 p.m. to midnight, high and low. That's all I do. So I find, there we go. So that's all I do every day. I come in and I mark out high and low, 7 p.m. to midnight, and I wanted to see one ran first. Now, if I was awake, if I was up, once we kind of bounced around here, you could have taken this inversion to the high. If you're up that early, I'm just not. That was kind of your first opportunity there if you're trading inversions, right? So we ran that liquidity there. Nice big gap here. Nice obvious gap. If you stood back from your screen, this gap stands out more than any other gap, right? So if you're looking for a run to the high, that would be the gap I would take. So a close above. So I probably would just get in on momentum right here, and then you would break even stop this. You would actually break even stop it here on the internal liquidity. So once it reaches there, you break even stop, pushes right through, would hit your first target, you scale there. It does retest, so you most likely get stopped out break even on your runner. But if you're someone who only plays the retest during London, which there's some merit to that. I've had a couple of people, I think J Trades says that, only trade the inversions during London, or trade the retracements, because they almost always happen. So if you're someone that only trades the entry off the retracement, you could have got more out of it. And then if you put your stop to break even, as long as you got in on that candle there, then you never would have been stopped out and it ran the high. An inversion is very simple in low one. All it is just a fair value gap. Here's the thing. Think about how many people. So let's think about ICT, right? What does he teach? A sweep of liquidity, a market structure shift, right? So we shift structure to the downside here. So how many people you think are shorting this gap? A lot. There's a lot of people shorting it. So the idea of an inversion is once price closes back above this gap, there's going to be a lot of liquidity waiting at that swing high. So that's why if you go back and look, when gaps are closed above, they almost always hit the next swing high because everybody that's shorting this gap is putting their stops right at the swing high, right, in general. So that's an inversion. It's just a gap, bearish or bullish, that's then inversed. Once it's inversed, you go back and look. It's very, very high win rate, probably 80+% that we go back to at least the internal swing. So there's a deer in my front yard. My camera notification just went off. But yeah, that's what I would be looking for. That's an inversion. So even if you did get stopped out on this one, you do have another opportunity to get in. You know, if you were confident in it going to the Asia high, this would have been your next opportunity right here. Because we're kind of holding up. Price is holding up above this inversion, right? So that would have kind of been your next opportunity to take it up to the high, and that was clean there. Close above, break even stop at the internal liquidity, and it runs right to the Asia high. And once it runs to the Asia high, you just look for the move back in the other direction. So we end up running all the way down. We didn't quite make it to 505 yet. Do we have to go to 505? No, we don't have to, but that would kind of be my expectation potentially to go to. But we have ran quite a bit of liquidity here. So if you did get a reversion back to the upside, it wouldn't be horrible to take. So I am in Northeast Georgia, Kid Nash. Northeast Georgia is currently 3:36 a.m. 3:36. Where are you located, Kid Nash? Let me guess. Phoenix. I'm guessing Phoenix. I have no idea where you're at. That's a complete guess. Vancouver. I was way off. I was just going with your name there and thought Steve Nash. I think his last stop was in Phoenix. What time is it in? It's at 12:36, so late in Vancouver. There is a 2-minute inversion here. I'm not going to take it, guys. I've hit my profit target. You could take it, but what I like to see with inversions is you want to see one gap in the leg, right, if you're looking. So there's a gap here on the 1 minute, but on the 2 minute, there's the same gap. So you would like to see – so here's the idea. Now, I'm not saying this is going to work because I don't know. But there's a high probability if this inverses, it goes at least to that swing high there at 56. Decent probability. If this holds, then and you have extreme confidence that we're going to move lower, then you would be watching this if it stays open. If it stays open. Oh, you're Stephen Ashes of Vancouver. Oh, yeah, that's true. I didn't even think about that. You're a Kid Rock fan. Yeah, Topstep X Captain Price. So this gap's, you can see there what we were talking about. So this gap did close. If you're confident that we're going to 505, this would be another entry. I would not take it because we're so low in this leg. But you woke up. You just woke up, Captain Price. You missed it. We took a $1,000 trade. You can see the P&L up here. I think you can. Yeah. We did copy it across all 5 Topstep X accounts as well. So I like how they all traded the exact same too. 1161 across all 5. And see, Tom's talking about a long here. I would never long here. He's not wrong though. Sweep of liquidity, market structure shift, this would be your long. But the thing is, this tapped into this 2-minute gap, and then this inverses, it probably goes back to the low. But It's just so low. It's just so low. 3 a.m. was better to wake up to. Yeah. The 3 a.m. was nice. So that's what I do. I look for longs and shorts. I kind of mark out the ideas for longs and shorts. I don't always take them, as Captain Price can tell you guys if you're new here. I don't always take what I mark out. It just means that it's not an A+ setup to me, and it might be due to location or several reasons why I don't take it. It could be my P&L, which I shouldn't do, but that's what we do. Oh yeah, we have deer out here, Kid Nash. There's one in my front yard just a moment ago. There's a bunch of holes in my backyard where I live in the very rural area of Georgia, and so there's a bunch of holes out back where the deer kind of wander in at night. They set my cameras off every single night. It's kind of creepy when you're at home by yourself, and it's 3 a.m. and your camera notification. That's the only thing about having cameras. Your camera notification goes off. I would show it to you, but you can barely see the deer walking across the front yard. You can't even barely see them. So, well, we keep some steel right here next to us, so we're not worried about it. There are bears in North Georgia, but not typically here where I'm at. Now look, see what happened here. We closed below there, but not with a whole lot of momentum. And this is where price action is going to get sloppy, right? Down this low. And that's why I don't take these. Lower probability. We're very, very low in this leg. So we did close below there, but not with a lot of momentum. And we're just very low here. We've already swept liquidity. So that's the thing. We've taken out this swing. We've taken out this swing. And we've taken out this swing. Should be looking for shorts here or should be looking for longs? Should be looking for longs in this area. Does that mean we won't make a lower low? No, it doesn't mean that. It just means that the probability is not as high, right? And I like to play off the probabilities there. So now you see we created a swing and we're moving back below the swing. So now stops to break even if you took the close and you would target the low here. This is the thing I love about inversions. Even when you're wrong, you can still almost always get out break even, right? Because now it's a risk-free trade. It's either going to hit your target. And you could scale. You could scale at maybe 6 if you wanted to, if you had multiple contracts. I probably just hold it for the swing, or you're going to get stopped out break even. Those are the options. So you saw gators, rats, deer, squirrels. Yeah, a lot of squirrels, raccoons, all of that stuff. Yeah. When I referred to take off liquidity, meaning it went after the tail of the candle. When I referred to, well, it ran liquidity. Internal. You're talking about the internal liquidity? My first target, Guy Blanco, is 25 ticks, which is like 6 points in 1 tick, typically, or the internal liquidity. Internal would be the next swing. So there's no clear swing here, right? So I would take off something at this swing here, and then I would target 505 on my runner on the short. Let's just say it went the other way. Let's say it went up and we inversed this gap. Well, the first internal liquidity above the gap is this swing, and that's why I would put that as my first target. So whatever the next swing in the leg is, you like for it to be obvious. It's not always obvious, though, but you'd like it to be. Kid Nash, I've been trading for 13 months. I've been streaming for, I think I'm in my 7th month of streaming. This might be month 8. I can't remember. I started in July last year, so I guess that's 7 months. Maybe this is the 8th month. Mid to late July. So 7 or 8 months I've been streaming, but trading for about 13 months. I was a cable installer, Kid Nash. So I worked for a local cable company installing internet for the last 20-ish years. Always had an interest in stocks or futures or whatever. And finally put myself in a situation to where I could take a shot at this full time. And so I kind of have like a year of savings when I started. I could live for a year without any more income. And so, with the idea of I would make enough money between trading and the YouTube channel to survive within a year. So that's what I gave myself. And this is where we are. So thank you in low one. And this is why I normally scale at 6 points. At least something. Because to me, on a break-even trade, I'd rather take $120 and then get broken even on my other contracts than get nothing out of the trade. So I always scale 1 at 6 points. In this situation, I wouldn't even have taken the trade, but in general, that would be my thought process. I think this hits, but who really knows? Oh, thanks, kid. Yeah, I started watching Tom. He had like maybe 400 subscribers. I reached out to him because I noticed some mistakes that he was kind of making that I made very early on. And there was nobody there to say, hey, you should really be concentrating on this or that or whatever. And not that I'm like an expert by any means, but, if you can help someone, you try to help them. So that's just the way I am. And so there you go. You would have been stopped out there, break even on the runner. And I mean, that's the power of inversions, right? Even though I don't love this trade, it's so low, it's still just a break even trade. You was going to work 2 jobs in trading as well. Trading's very hard in low one. Don't be fooled, but it is very hard. Now, if we close above here, then that kind of gives you the idea that we were just wrong, right? We put in a higher low, and we close above, then we're just wrong. And it's probably going in the other direction. Because if you're looking for a reversal, price never sometimes you get the V-shaped, but that's not like always, right? Most of the time it's, higher low and then go. So been doing it off and on for sometimes. Yeah. Just pick a strategy that fits your personality. That's one of the things. Like anybody can learn a strategy. Anybody can have RR. Anybody can do any of that. But if the strategy doesn't fit your personality, darn it, which is what I've learned, I need a strategy that fits my personality, and that's the inversion strategy. I like to move my stop quickly. You're able to move your stop quickly with inversions, and so that's why I like it. So, yeah, it's a bit different from the 9 to 5, no doubt, Captain Price. And I started off with my own capital. I didn't even know about prop firms. I had no idea when I first started. So I started off trading my own money, and lost a good bit, and then I found prop firms after the fact. So there's a close above there on this gap. Now some people ask, like, do you take a close above as a long? I don't. Because there's no gap that we're inversing on the way back up, right? We're reinversing the first gap. If there was another gap here, then you could use that as your inversion gap. So this would still be your inversion gap right here for the long. You tried the IFG strategy, but there were so many conflicting signals. 5-minute fair value glass inversed, but 30-minute being rejected. How do you decide which way to trade? Ariana, the simplest thing to do is number one thing about inversions is knowing what the drawn liquidity is. That's kind of the number one thing. So you can't just trade any inversion. So for example, I don't even look at the 5-minute. Very, very rarely. I'm 3 minutes and under. And all I'm trying to see is which one has a singular gap in the leg. Now, in a move down like this, that's a decent sized move, you're going to always have more than one gap, right? But let's look at the 2 minute. The 2 minute has this gap here, and we have a very small gap here. Does that small gap really mean anything? Probably not. So if we inverse this, there's a pretty strong probability that we're going to 56, right? So it's really just about getting to that internal liquidity. If you are in the right direction, it should at least hit the internal liquidity. And you look at the momentum. Like if we come in here and we just, you know, if you get up in here and you're just like, and price is just like this, like where it's just like not getting through there, right? Do you really want to take that trade? No, we want to see it go through there with momentum. Kind of like up here when I took the short, right? I got in before the candle close on the 1 minute. So I took the 1 minute here. You can see the candle closed down here. I wish I could show you my positions. I bought the bottom of the gap because I saw the momentum on this candle. And I said, we're going to close below. I knew we were going to close below, so I bought the momentum. You only do that with screen time. You don't want to do that if you, you know, if you're not experienced with it. But so I went ahead and got in before the candle closed, and then I knew I wasn't going to move my stop until here. I knew we had to fight through the VWAP there, but what happened? We created a new swing. So as soon as we create a new swing, some people would panic here and say, oh no, it's pushing back up. I might be wrong. Not me. I added for the retracement. Now this becomes my break-even spot and my scale spot. So if we get back to there, that's your new internal liquidity. So as soon as we get back to here, you take one off, and then you break-even stop. And then your next target is the next swing, and then your next target is the draw on liquidity, which would have been the Asia low. So that's how I do it. And guys, I mean, I've had great success with it. Even the losing trades that I took 2 losers, one in London. Oh wait, what was it? I think 2 of my losers were like beyond the first trade in London, and over the last couple of nights, and that was after me trading my regular accounts. I jumped on Topstep X and took some losers, I think twice. But beyond that, I've only had 2 losers in my last 50 trades. They've either been break even or winners. So a very, very high win percentage, like around 90%. If you don't count the London losses, it was 94% over the last week or so. Where's the gap? Can you please show me when you have the time? Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's just right here. So the trade that I took here at open, you can see right here. See the gap there? So you have candle 1 here. The body stops there. You have candle 2 open. It pushes up. And then the body, and then the open of candle number 3 leaves a gap on the body. So there's a gap between candle 1 and candle 3. And you want it to be a nice large gap where it's obvious. You don't want it like the bigger the gap. Like if you stood back from the chart, could you see that gap? Of course. Now, I think Tom said there's multiple gaps in this leg. And while there are multiple gaps in this leg, which one stands out the most? This one. Right? And the reason I use the 1 minute on this is because even on the 2 minute, nothing really changes. Even on the 3 minute, nothing really changes. Right? So we know if that first gap gets inversed, most likely, because we know the draw on liquidity, we know the draw on liquidity is probably Asia lows at 39. We know that's the draw. These gaps don't matter so much. So that's why I'm unconcerned about the gaps below when I know the draw on liquidity. Now, if I'm wrong and it continues higher, I'm just wrong. You have to accept that. So this is another short opportunity here. I'm going to mark these out. I'm not taking them, but I'm just going to mark them out to show you the power of the inversions here. We're delivering from a 2 minute. So if this closes below the gap, that would be your short entry. Your break-even stop would be here. And obviously you target the low. Again, I'm not taking this. I'm not taking this because this doesn't, you know, I've already hit my profit target and we're so low in the leg. Has the IFU strategy got me a payout from Topstep? No, not yet. I'm close, Ariana, over here. I'm not close on Topstep yet, but my Bewleys, I'm at $1,184 in profit here, and I'm at $1,753 in profit here. This account, I was actually $350 away from blowing just 4 days ago. And I just made a video on that, and I passed it yesterday using the IFEG strategy. This one down here, we already passed. No, obviously, you're still going to fail some challenges because you're not going to do everything. So I'm down 576 on my express funded. You're not going to do everything perfectly, right? So sometimes you're going to be wrong. We're up 2,600 on this eval. We are up 400 on this one static. We just started. And we're up 2,400 on this one. All right, so there's your break-even stop if you did participate in that trade. So stop to break even now. And you see the power here of the inversions? So it's stop to break even, and your target, I'd scale some at this swing. So even though it didn't work on that first move down, you see how it works here? And now you target 505. Now you target 505. So you took one off here at the swing, and you should just target 505. Stop to break even. And you either get it or you don't. That's the power of the inversions. Like I said, I would say this is like a B2C setup just because of how low we are. But even on those setups, you almost always at least are getting out break even. So appreciate that, Kid Nash. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, PAs are tough. I trade the PAs exactly as you see me trade here, Ariana. So I'm taking 2 minis. I don't suggest everybody do this, but I'm taking 2 minis. I'm taking one off at 6 points and 1 tick, so 25 ticks, or the internal swing. So like, for example, on this trade, that's your first internal swing right there, that there. 6 points between 30 and there. So I would have scaled one based on my normal strategy at that first swing. So as soon as I hit my first take profit, I'm going to break even stop it. I'm locking in $120. And then I'm either going to hit my target or I'm going to get stopped out break even. That's how I'm doing it. 2 minis. But you could certainly do it with 2 or 3 micros, 5 micros, scale 50% of your position at the internal swing and let the rest run. You could do that. So MGB in the house. Thank you for your subscription. Welcome to the Methodical Crew. You the man. Yes, I do say that with every subscription. If I didn't get a notification and you subscribed, then that's because your YouTube is probably private. And if you want a proper thank you, just let me know down in the chat. MGB. All right. And again, you either hit 505 here on this play or you get stopped break even. Or you could have scaled your entire position at the swing. It's completely up to you. It's not a trade I'm going to take just because we're so low in the leg. Like, think about it. This is what I try to say. It's like, would you rather be short here? Or would you rather be short here? I mean, I'm sorry, I put that in the wrong spot. Here, would you rather be short there or short here? Could be short both, but I'd rather be short here. And it's one of those things like, say you miss this entry. Should you take this one? Probably not. Probably not. Give you a like on your comment. You just liked yourself. Kid Nash. He liking his own comment. Looks like Tom is in a short. What is he targeting? 482. Let's try and see where he's targeting here. Uh, 482. I mean, I would say 476 if you're going to get it that low. So I'll zoom in a little bit here. We're going to just read this trade and see see what happens. You're not pulling the trigger. Yeah. I think he's a little more conservative than I am, and that's okay. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But you can see, like I like to be one and done in London typically. One and done. Just take that first trade. Anybody know how to plot your executions on screen? Does anybody have any idea how to do that? I asked somebody else yesterday, and they did not know either. Let's see. Oh, you can put previous day close. Oh, close, high and low indicators. Kid Nash, you got free gifts from Victoria's Secret. Yeah, I trade New York as well, Kid Nash. Most days I'll trade all day. New York. Sometimes I end the stream at yesterday I think I ended the stream at 1:30. It just depends on if I'm done for the day or not. I don't want to just sit in front of the PC if I'm not taking any trades. I'm just trying to see where you can put if you can plot your executions. Streamer mode. I don't know what all that is. Who cares about that? Yeah, I don't see anything. Let's see if the 505 hits. I feel like it might, but ES is also at 76 right now. It's actually, so the 505 wick lines up with the same wick at ES right there at 75. So there is a possibility that the ES runs the liquidity first and then we bounce. We get a little SMT to the upside there. So the wife will like it. Do you trade the New York, Kid Nash? I mean, I'm assuming so. If it's midnight there, that means it's what, 6:30 a.m. during the New York. So now if you are in this short, you want this gap. Obviously, you'll be stopped out break even anyway. But you want this gap to hold if you are short. So if this doesn't hold, you're probably stopped out break even. Nice. It would be nice. I guess 6:30 is a bit early, but it's not too bad, right? You're 3K away from getting the 150K done. Nice job. I don't trade the 150Ks. Maybe eventually I will. I just, the mentality of having to go larger size messes with me sometimes for whatever reason. I don't know why, but it does. Yeah, you will. If you hit 159, yeah. I just, yeah, I'm kind of an early bird person too. I like being up early. So if this gap does not hold, then that's bad news for the bears. But you want to see this hold. You want to see price stay below. If it gets back below this swing here, it should kind of expand quickly into the 505s. We could get a little push up here. There is a 4 o'clock macro that turns on here at 403. So that might be the pushback up we're getting. Or this could just be a full-on reversal. We'll see what happens. Oh, you trade one at the most? Nice. That's probably a good strategy. Wayfair in the house was up. So if the gap does not hold, we would next target price would you be looking at? In low. Well, if this gap didn't hold, I would think that we probably push back up into this area up here. What do you see up here? So if this gap doesn't hold, you got relatively equal highs right here at the 41s, but I do expect this gap to hold. But if it didn't hold, you know, you'd think we at least retest this area. You would think. I don't take those think trades, though. Keep that in mind. I try to stay away from those. So here you'd like to see, you want to see price get back below this low and move quickly to the 05s. That would be the ideal reaction here. And if it struggles to do that, then, you know, who knows what happens. Seasonal tendency is weekly remains weak. Yeah. You're like in the London stream. Yeah, me too, Wayfair. I love London. It's just hard to get up. It's hard to wake up. No, it works outside the kill zone, Wayfarer. We had 2 awesome setups yesterday during the lunch session, and I didn't take them because of the time of day, but they paid, I think one paid like 50-ish handles, and the other paid like 30. Yeah, and we got, isn't today non-farm payroll? Let me check. I think is it non-farm payroll today? I don't know. Is today Tuesday? You pull up the news here. I didn't even look this morning. I can't remember. Maybe not. Oh, wait. This might be FOMC today. On any time frame or just the 1 minute and 5 minute. I don't use the 5 minute much. I typically use the 1 minute, 2 minute, or 3 minute. I don't take entries on the 5 minute at all. Yeah, FOMC at 2. 20-year bond auction at 1. So the morning price action might not be great. Yeah, I typically use the I use the 5 minutes sometimes, but I don't use it for entries. I use my entries on the 3 minute, the 2 minute, and the 1 minute. I prefer the 1 minute for entries, to be honest. Excuse me. The Apex payout finally hit. Nice. Nice. Yeah, I like my funded futures. I just picked up I have the 30K static. So you can see pushing back up here. Got a minute left on this candle. Not a great look. You would have been stopped out on that runner there if you're trying to hold for 505. Which that's fine. I mean, that's the power of inversions, right? Stopped out on the runner, that's okay. NVIDIA earnings, yeah, that's probably after market close though, right? Probably. So like this scenario, you could use the 5 minute. There's no real gap there. Well, can't tell. Is there a gap there? Yeah, there is. So I would use the 5 minute here, but not for an entry. A close above would kind of lead us to believe that we're headed back up. Which, was there a minute left on this candle? It's most likely going to close above. Now see, this is a scenario where you could use that 3 minute gap there. The only thing is you'd have to take into account both gaps in this scenario. So there's 2 gaps here. There's no idea here where there's only one. So it would need to close above here. I'd like to see a close above on the 5 and the 3 at the same time in this scenario. So the 3 closed above, right? You have to take both the gaps into consideration. So that's your stop. Let's see if the 5 closes above. So you got 38 seconds left on the 5 minute, and it needs to hold 28. See, this would be a scenario where I'd want both to close above to have a little extra confluence there. So 20 seconds left on it. Looks like it will. AI race has been since last year's January 20. Oh, yeah, true. All right, 5 minute closed above as well. So if you wanted to be aggressive, you could take an aggressive long here. It's just kind of man to me. I mean, I don't know the draw on liquidity in this scenario, so it's like I'm unsure. But this is a situation where both closed above. And if it failed, then the draw is just lower. There's just not anything you can really do about that, right? ES kind of triple top there at 81. I don't love that deep, how deep. This is why I don't like taking trades off the 3 minute. Like even the 3 minute I don't love because of how long it takes the candle to close. Because your stop out is a candle close below or above, you know, like depending upon if you're short or long. Candle close below or above. Sometimes you could be holding these, you know, 10 points below the box, below the gap before you get the candle close. So you want to see some strength here on this 3 minute candle. This next candle needs to open up and go. Your break-even stop would be where the blue line is there. That's the first internal liquidity. ES trying to push back up. 79's there. Like I said, I got triple top there at 81, whatever, 81 and a half. So let's kind of see what happens here. Is she going to rip or is she going to dip? Nobody knows. If you guys are interested in trading futures, I got all the links down below to the prop firms, guys. I don't like to, I don't say it too often, but we got Topstep, $49. If you're new to Topstep, you get 20% off. You've used my link. So that'll be 20% off the $49. This is not a good reaction, by the way. And then 50% off your first reset. My funding futures, we got an overall cost of $90 on the My Funded Futures, which is a really good deal. So there's no activation fee there for the My Funded Futures. 50K accounts, $90. Using the code FEB10, I have the link in the description for that as well. There's the code FEB10 for My Funded Futures. And then the next best account is going to be Bulenox, 83% off on Bulenox right now. So that's the best upfront cost, 83%. Link in the description with the coupon code for that. APEX, obviously, still 71% off with half price resets, 1 day pass, currently till sometime later today. Link in the description for that as well. And then we also have Take Profit Trader $102 with no activation fee. And you get a free evaluation once you pass. So you actually get 2 for 1 there. And then Elite Trader Funding at 80% off. And the link in the description for my Discord as well is $10 a month. So if you guys want to check those out, those all help the channel. We do appreciate it. If not, that's okay too. I like Take Profit Trader too, Wayfarer. I've had no problems with them. Once you know the rules for every one of the prop firms, they all got a little bit of quirks in them, you know, things you have to kind of deal with. But once you know the rules for each of the prop firms, it's really, they're all pretty decent. Wow. So I don't like that close. I'd probably kill this if I was long, but the rules are a close below. This does not look very strong to me. Still could hold, but she's not looking very strong, that's for sure. And this is the thing I don't love about taking the trades on the 3-minute chart or the 5-minute for that matter. It just takes so long for the candle to close that you're just sitting here sweating, just sweating. See what I mean? Look at this thing. So close to stopping you out, and you're just like, So that's a 10-point gap, which is a pretty big gap for a 3-minute. All right, let's see what happens here. And again, guys, this is why this is one of those things. Do you really want to be sweating through this trade? You want to take this one or this one, you know, and be done. That's what you want to do. A lot of people overtrade. You take even 2, 3, 4 trades. It's too many. I do the same thing, but I also stream, right? I don't do it during London, but during New York, I would probably take this trade. And I'd be sweating. I'd be sitting here just sweating. You know, oh man, am I going to lose $400? You know, $500, $600 if it closes down here. Where these trades up here are just so much, you know, you take the best setup right out of the gate, zero stress on it, and then you don't have to worry about taking anything else. Be happy with what you make, and it could be enough. Yeah, I do journal my trades, Kid Nash. We do journal our trades, but I do it a little differently. I'm not someone who has TradeZella or anything like that. We have a trading journal right here, and we write them down every single day. So there we go. Close below would stop you out. I go back over my trades every day, look and see what I did wrong, what I did right, that sort of thing. Keeps me accountable there. Holds me accountable. And I mean, I'm honest with myself. You know, I'm like, all right, this trade, you know, didn't make sense in like hindsight, right? Even though at the time it might have made sense. So I do like journaling. I think at first I thought it was like, who wants to journal, right? But at the same time, when you go back to the end of the week and then you go back over the last 5 days and you wonder why at the end of the week you're break even or you're red by journaling the trades and then going back and taking a look and having TradeZella or something like that that's not manual, you know, that's digital is good too. Because then you can actually go back and look at the chart and see what you did wrong there. So, like, the thing you have to ask yourself when you enter a trade is, like, if this loses, are you okay with it? So, like, this one here, I even said that. If this doesn't work, completely fine with it. It's the setup that I like. So like yesterday morning here, let's go back to the 1 minute here. So right here, I had 476 marked out, right? And I thought that that was the draw on liquidity. Well, what happened? I mean, we got this beautiful inversion set up, but I didn't take it because I thought the draw on liquidity was 476, which ultimately was. It did go there. But I did not take this right here because we were so close to this sell side. So I didn't take it, and it ended up just running. And then I was expecting price to trade back up to 50%, or at least 50% or OTE, right? That's kind of what I was thinking. So I was thinking price would trade back up to OTE there. And you can see it didn't quite make it to 50%. And then we got another inversion right here to the downside. And we were inside a bearish fair value gap. I didn't take this either. No, actually I did take this. That's right, but I got shook out. So I took this and I got shook out because you can see price closed below here. We hit the internal liquidity here, so I moved my stop to break even. It pushed back up and retraced and stopped me out, and then went lower. So I could have traded these a little better, but I would consider this like a B or C setup just because we were so close to the liquidity. So I didn't take it. This one would probably fine to take, and then we knew the draw should be the 76, which eventually hit. So that's why I like coming into it, having a bias sometimes it helps you, but it also can mess with you a little bit there. It can mess with your head a little bit. So an inversion means change in price the opposite way. Yeah, I mean, you're just inverting a gap. That's all you're doing. So any fair value gap that you see, you know, and like I said, you can watch Dodgy's videos. He's got good videos on it here. You know, IFVG model, how to use them with a high win rate. You can get the idea. I haven't made any videos on it because I feel like in hindsight, like I can go back and show you inversions and be like, oh, I would have taken this, I would have taken that. It's easy to see it in hindsight, right? But in live time, it might be different. So I'm signing up for FX Replay. I'm going to start making some videos on it using FX Replay. And then that way it's kind of a random day and you don't know what's going to happen ahead of time. It's easy to make a video when you know what's going to happen, right? So he talks real fast. Yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, some people, it doesn't bother me, but like I could see what you mean. I could see what you mean. He is a younger guy, but, you know, he does know what he's talking about. He knows what he's doing. So, well, guys and gals, I do think that's going to do it for me. If you guys haven't already, hit that like button for me. Subscribed. You just slowed him down. Good idea, guy. Subscribe if you're not yet subscribed. And I will be back for the London session at 9:15 a.m. Or not London, New York. New York, that's the word. We'll be back for the New York. I appreciate you guys watching. Typical London streams are going to be Monday and Friday. I'm not typically going to stream in the middle of the week, but you know, sometimes I'll just jump on here. So yeah, guy, I do have Ninja Trader. I know I can use it, but the thing is, I'll be picking the day, so I probably have an idea as to what happens. So I'd rather it just be random. So, which is what FX Replay does. It just gives you random date and time. You don't really know what happens. So, all right. Well, I appreciate you guys, and we'll see you guys for New York. Thanks, Kid Nash.